I looked into it more deeply and I found, gosh, automated soap dispensers that only work for white hands. Because,
What?
yep, all of these soap dispensers went to Marriott hotels around the world, and a Nigerian tech worker put his hands under it and it
Oh.
didn't work, and then he put a white piece of paper under it and it worked for the white piece of paper. And he put out a tweet some years ago and it went viral. So that's the kind of stuff that's happening. The bias of the past is being embedded into the future, and that same technology that's used in soap dispensers is used in self-driving cars. So if they come up to a pedestrian crossing, they might not identify a person of colour and they might run them over, but they will identify a white person.
You're joking.
No. And I went so down the rabbit hole on this because these algorithms, they're deciding whether you get a job, whether you get a home loan, or whether you get a ventilator in a hospital. I'm a 55-year-old woman. If I'm in a hospital in the United States because they've used Frankenstein data sets to cobble together all of this technology, and it's a choice between me getting the ventilator and someone who's 30, it'll be the younger person because I'm valued as less of a person because I'm older.
So this is incredible. And, you know, obviously with AI, we've only seen a tiny bit of it. But obviously there are other forms of technology that are generated by AI that aren't great. And when I was telling someone today that I was interviewing you and that what your book is about, they said something really interesting, that they use a lot of the AI for creating images and stuff like that. And they're like, it will always bring up a white person's image. You have to actually give it a prompt to say that you want an image in a different color. And he was saying it's because a lot of the images are from Getty that it's looking through. But even that is like, why is it like that?
They have totally nailed it. So what happens is there's an app called Midjourney that we use to create the cover of my book, Man Made.
Yes.
And that was 100% using artificial intelligence because the designer wanted to start a conversation about everything that you're saying, that there are these new jobs called prompt drivers, people putting words into the algorithm to come up with images, and they have to get past the bias because it defers towards white people, towards men, and towards younger people. And that's how the bias is being embedded in the technology of the future. With ChatGPT, they trained it by scraping everything off the internet. Now, you know how terrible some of the stuff is on the internet,
Yes.
right? We all do. And they built the algorithm from that. And so if you say to ChatGPT, tell me a story about an engineer and a nurse, always, 100% of the time, the engineer will be male and the nurse will be female. A friend of mine did this 10 times with ChatGPT, and eventually the bot turned around to her and said, I am biased. You've made me realise I will work on it.
Oh.